Life can be harsh and hard, of course, but it's a city that offers so much. You can get all the services that you would really struggle in other countries.
Meet Patricia. She moved from France to India 9 years ago and now works as a teacher at an international school in Mumbai. She shared with me her love-hate relationship with India, why she feels safer in Mumbai than in Paris, and the taboo topics you should never discuss while living in India. I'm Max, an entrepreneur and YouTuber from Singapore. Let's go.
Do you remember your first impressions of India?
Why are people honking all the time? I was trying to make sense of things. What does it mean, a horn, okay, please? And what's the point of all of that?
Yeah.
And at the same time, you have this paradox of thinking that, wow, there's so much collective intelligence in all this energy.
Yeah, it's like self-organized.
Self-organized, organic, and it's working out. So it's another logic. Why so much noise? Why am I tired? I'm not doing anything. Basically, all your senses are overstimulated. And these were the few impressions, how your senses are actually affected. The smells you have around you, from pleasant incense smells to less pleasant ones. Once you reach the airport of Mumbai, you have that dense air that you can actually breathe. I love just going to have a chit-chat with a vendor here, meeting an uncle that comes here on a daily basis for his evening walk, seeing those kids coming back from work in their uniform, or the school van coming in the morning. You feel less isolated here because of the life outside, and only because the weather permits it. Look at this life around. We call it the city that never sleeps, and I kind of love it. Kills you, but it makes you still feel alive.
Why people say India is dangerous? I feel safe here. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's wrong. A sense of security. I walk around at night yesterday just to experience the city, the vibe, 10 p.m. It's quite crazy, like lots of people on the street, like life is going on. And I'm the only foreigner on the street.
I feel super safe, personally, daytime and nighttime. I love taking the local train in Mumbai. It's just faster, you avoid the traffic, and there's so much life happening around, within the compartment itself. So here you probably saw, I don't know, but you have men and women compartments. As a woman, you have the freedom to go to the men compartment if you wish to, if you're comfortable. And I feel super safe to go to any of both. And basically, you make a choice. All the doors are open. You make the choice as to where there's more space. If you're lucky enough, you can even sit. To be honest, when I tell my friends that I feel safer here than in Paris when I take the public transport, they are quite surprised. But at night also, something peculiar is that you have an agent, a policeman, a woman in the compartment for women. That adds to the sense of safety, but otherwise, I can wear a dress and walk, in hills outside. I've never been bothered at all, not even once. And whereas if I was in Paris, for example, in the public transport at night, I would probably wear, something else. Mumbai is one of those places where you can definitely feel safe because people are exposed to a diversity of people coming from, different backgrounds, different countries. It's quite a cosmopolitan place.
I read one of your Instagram posts about the safety of traveling by night train for a woman. Is it a big problem?
If you don't stand by the door, which I used to do at the start, you're fine. What I've seen is that some women were harassed, their necklaces were taken away. I've seen that twice in 9 years. Also, I'm not taking the local train so regularly now, but an accident could have happened. They've just been robbed like that, or the phone. But because they are standing by the door as the train is moving, it's comfortable in the sense that
easy
very
target.
breezy and all of that. But you probably want to avoid that. So you also have that sense of safety, not just by being harassed by a man or something, but general sense of safety, of security.
You just left the phone when we came. Would you do it without if I was not here?
I could.
So
I would be absolutely trustful.
It's pretty safe to...
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah, I never got anything stolen. And in fact, even the other day, I had forgotten something in the rickshaw. And the watchman, so when I came from work, and the watchman came to ring my bell and said, you forgot that in the rickshaw. So the driver had stepped out, given that item to the watchman, who came to my door.
Your attitude about life in India 9 years ago and your attitude right now?
I think the social life makes it easier for someone to decide to stay. But every year I ask myself this question, what about next year? Am I staying or am I leaving? Because there's so many things I hate about this city. You know,
like what?
Like pollution. After monsoon is great. That's the season where I tell myself, okay, I love Mumbai. This is where I see myself.
But now, is it bad or not too bad?
And now it's fine.
Now it's okay. I don't
okay.
feel like much pollution.
After Diwali would be the worst because you have all these fireworks happening. I have 2 air purifiers. Otherwise, without it, I mean, I can't.
Yeah.
You know, I'm asthmatic as well. So December, January, February are the worst. You'd see myself, I wear actually a mask like every day because I take the rickshaw all the time. You would see myself asking myself, you know, what are you doing here? You know, the world is so big. There are so many other places where you could actually be as happy as here. And I've been offered a contract on a yearly basis. They used to offer me for 2 years contract, but I would also say, no, just 1 year. Just 1 year. I know stories of people who could not stand the city, who left after a few weeks because it was too much, or even after a few days, and who just hated it, got into depression. It takes a lot of effort mentally to accept to let go of things you can't control. And honestly, the people around you, I really admire the people around me because they just teach you a big lesson of humility and just remaining calm. Because what's the point of being angry? There's nothing you can change about the situation, you know? Just accept it as it is because that's just how it is. And just like on the road, for example, you know, despite the chaos around, people rarely fight. You know, I don't know how many times I almost thought that I would lose my life in the traffic. As far as there's no accident, it's fine. You know, the moment you touch a car or a rickshaw, then you might be in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, and it could almost be physical. But except from that, you know, they're just a small look and then it's fine. You just let go. Life carries on. You know, so I quite admire that sense of self-control.
Anything else that you're not used to?
Cycling, maybe. Simple things as walking.
Yeah.
I just discovered a park maybe 1 month ago that is just 10 minutes away from here if I take the shortcut through the slum behind this building. It's a park that is 0.5 kilometer long, and I never walked as much as I have like a few days ago, and it felt great. And it's a simple pleasure, you know, that everyone should have access to. But here, for some reasons, you know, I've lived in different neighborhoods of the city, Bandra, Lokhandwala, Andheri. You have this concept of paying to access a park, and the park is usually like tiny. Very rarely you'll find a huge park, but this one is one of the biggest that I've found in Juhu. I was just thrilled to be able to just go for a walk, but I had to take a transport to reach the park. And if I want to go there by bicycle, it's not impossible, but you have to accept, you know, the bumpy roads, the dust you get in your face. You would mind your safety also because, you know, you can have either a cow crossing, a rickshaw or a truck coming, you know, unexpectedly. So you have to be confident with that. So I would miss, I mean, these are things that I miss, I would say.
Is there any habits that you obtained after living for 9 years in India?
Leaving my shoes just by the door when I come at home, waking up early, also because I don't have the choice, but I like it. Ginger chai in the morning.
Instead of coffee?
I love it. Actually, I have both, but I think I start my day with the chai when I'm in India. When I go to France, I
Switch
have
to
my
coffee.
French habits. When I'm here, I love the ginger chai in the morning. You know, you need it to start the day. The head check, you have like 1,000 varieties of it. It can mean no, it can be yes, maybe, I'm not sure. Come, don't come. If you're asking a rickshaw driver to go somewhere and he answers with a head check and you're like, I used to be in that situation. Is it a yes? Are you taking me? Because I don't know, you know, just come, you know. I used to train myself in front of the mirror, you know, the first week when I came to Mumbai. And I find it very difficult because in France we have that,
exactly.
or yes, or that. Nothing in between, you know.
Yeah.
So I used to really try hard and was like, I can't find it. I can't find the way, you know. And then you see so much around you that you try a bit harder and it comes to you.
Yeah. What's the clear yes?
It really depends because even this can be yes, but maybe,
not sure. Maybe.
You know?
What is maybe then? Like
I
that?
would say so, yes.
Okay, this maybe.
Let me think.
What about English? Did you struggle with the local accent in the beginning?
The first time I had struggle, actually, I was back in London in a pretty much Indian neighborhood, and I felt extremely embarrassed. I felt very sorry to the shopkeeper, but I just could not understand him, despite the fact that I was okay in English. You know, I didn't have any struggle.
But it was English person or Indian person
It was,
in London?
I mean, English from Indian origins. For me, it was Indian.
So the accent was Indian?
Absolutely Indian.
Because sometimes you don't understand people from the northern England.
Oh yes,
like you don't understand
I
them.
would struggle with them as well. I mean, yeah, trust me. Here, I faced some situations at the start, even to express myself with a bit of an Indian accent, if you can call it that way. So I started rolling the R, Rai Jana Hai, like instead of right.
Yeah,
You know, more to make it more evident. But then I started to learn Hindi, at least, you know, the basics, to find my way around, and that helped the process also. That helped me also be more, not more respected, but that helped drivers to understand that, okay, I've been here for some time, and I know that you have to put the meter, and I know that this is not the way, you know, so it helps to learn the language, and also just to connect with the people, you know, just for that. I don't know, I mean, people are very supportive whenever you speak their own language, and especially here in India. You put a hey in the end, and they're like, wow, are kya baat hai? You know, they're very supportive of you making the effort to learn their language.
वो एक दोस्त है, सिंगापुर से है, तो आज एक छोटा इंटरव्यू करना है.
क्या स्टार्टर लेगा तू?
हाँ?
स्टार्टर?
एक दही पूरी चाहिए और 2 स्पेशल चाय चाहिए.
She's very familiar for all.
Yeah?
Yeah, this hotel.
So everyone knows her.
Everyone.
Right.
I've been coming for so many years actually.
Yeah.
Are there like taboo topics, like big no-no that you don't want to discuss with
Maybe
people?
politics.
Yeah.
Maybe politics right now. Don't be too loud. That's one topic that comes to my mind, because things have evolved so much. Even, you know, living together without being married is kind of accepted in cities like Mumbai. Sex before marriage, I think, is pretty much accepted as well, but you don't want to be too vocal about it, I guess. I don't know. It depends where you come from, where you are in your life, how old you are.
Any other advice for foreigners who come to India?
Don't wear a bikini if you go to the beach in Mumbai. I've seen that once, a white girl wearing a bikini.
Because like it's not
Goa.
socially accepted.
It's not Goa. I've never seen anyone else wearing so little on the beach. It's not something we do here. I think that you really have to think carefully about certain customs, certain habits that people have, how they dress. When I came here in India, I used to cover myself so much until I realized that in Bandra, where it's quite modern, Bandra West is very modern and all that, you do have all styles. You can have a girl completely veiled from top to down, or a girl with a mini short and a very, like a crop top. You understand that, okay, this is okay also, but in this neighborhood, it might not be okay in another one.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to observe carefully the life around you to understand what you can or shouldn't do. So be probably sensitive culturally about where you're going. Don't come and kiss each other, because that's not what we do here. You can't reproduce what you do at home exactly the same way in another country, and in India here for this case. You know, so observe, take time to observe when you come. It's probably the piece of advice I would give.
You have to grab it like this and try to put everything in your mouth. So you probably don't want to take a video of that. But basically that's the way.
Okay. The full one. All right. Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yes, I know. Amazing, amazing.
That was, wow. Very rich taste.
What's the bad things about living in India?
Maybe the climate. Not everyone would agree with it, because right now it's getting a little bit humid. But I hate the cold, I hate winter. At the same time, I reach a point maybe that I miss a little bit the sequences of the seasons, you know, that we have in Europe. The temperature for me is a big aspect of it. The people are just so approachable, so nice, so welcoming. They make me laugh and smile every single day. And yes, they are a big factor of the reason why I'm still here today, I would say. You know, they make you feel that you're welcome and you're almost part of the family. Yeah. They can easily invite you at home, even though they've just met you. The energy that Mumbai has is that you have the feeling to live in different types of dimensions. and different times also altogether. Every 2 seconds, this is being reset. You can be in a neighborhood with luxurious environment around you. In the next minute, you're crossing a slum, a local market, and maybe a British era architecture.
In Mumbai, you have cities in the city, and every neighborhood has its own identity. If you go to Powai, you don't have the feeling that you're in India at all.
Yeah, why?
Because you have huge avenues, you have pavements where you can actually walk, it's quiet, there's hardly anyone begging in the street.
I have the feeling to be living in the mid-1950s sometimes, with the street vendors, on the wheel, on the chariot and the veggies and all of that. At the same time, in the very much 21st century with all the technology and all the services around you, it's just something that is almost addictive. Life can be harsh and hard, of course, but it's a city that offers so much. You can get all the services that you would really struggle in other countries.
Yeah, like grocery delivery.
Grocery deliveries, calling your bank on a Saturday night, getting things sorted instantly, if you fall sick on a Sunday night. You can call a chemist next door and within 10 minutes, you're sorted. There's no really health system here as we would have, healthcare system as we would have in France. If you have the money, you can be treated without waiting for months to see a specialist, for example. I live 10 minutes away from a huge hospital. They do surgery with robots and everything, like high tech. So you have this comfort as well. So it's all together, all mixed.
But still, it feels like it's still relatively cheap, like from Uber to groceries.
If we compare to the countries where we were maybe before in Europe, for example, I would never use the taxi in France because it's so steep. I would never ask for delivery because just the delivery itself would be 10 euros, maybe 15 euros. It's like, no way, I better cook. So here you take it a bit lightly and you tell yourself, okay, it's fine. I can have a massage at home this weekend because I know I can afford it. In France, if you want to have a massage, first, I don't think you get it at home that easily. You'll have to go somewhere and maybe it's going to be a gift because it's like 60, 70, 90 euros, around those prices. And here for almost maybe 20 euros, you can have a 1-hour massage.
I discovered yesterday the Uber had this option to hire a driver for like 5 hours, 6 hours.
Yes.
That's what I did yesterday. And it cost like $15.
Yeah, it's insane, right?
It's insane, yeah.
It just makes things so smooth, so easy, and we should be inspired by that. Whenever I go back to France, I'm in such a bad mood because when you reach the airport, things are not working, there's no agent to help you out, or if you see people around you that are struggling, the agents are hardly, I don't want to be harsh, but you would see people struggling to even speak English at times. I'm like, oh man, come on, like it's 2023, we have to be better than that. Paris is a beautiful city. It's one of the most visited cities in the world, but we can do better than that. So in terms of services, I think in India, we are really great. We keep the standards really, really high, I would say. And they provide great quality, I would say. They're always ready to help. Sometimes it can be a bit hard, but they're really ready to help, I would say.
And what I heard, Indians are very proud of them being Indians.
Yes.
It's like I Google, I read some articles online, like some forums, and also I talk to people. Like my taxi driver, I asked him, have you ever visited any other country? And he's like, no, I love India. I never even go to Sri Lanka, so India is my place. I love India.
Once I asked a young girl I was visiting, it was the first few months of my life in India. I was in Elephanta Island, and I asked her, okay, so do you love India? And she was like, of course I love India. How not to love my country?
Yeah.
People love their country and they're very proud of it. You have to see the cricket matches of India versus Pakistan. It creates so much joy if India wins, for example, and it is a sense of pride of their country.
Mumbai is big with Bollywood, and there are a lot of people who wanna be in this industry, like actors, directors, and stuff. It feels like Hollywood, but maybe even bigger level, higher level. So it's really big thing for people.
Actors are considered as gods.
So you have people coming from different backgrounds, different states, whose dream is really to be famous, and become maybe a Shah Rukh Khan or someone else.
I used to live in Palihil. Palihil is in Bandra. It's a beautiful area, very greenery, and you have some famous actors living there. My landmark was Dilip Kumar Bungalow. And even at times, I mean, I remember once I was just driving through Palihil Road, Chole Rajan Road actually, and the rickshawwala, the rickshaw driver, was convinced I was in the film industry for some reason, you know, and I had to tell him no, you know. And it's funny also because when I came, I just remember that people used to ask to take pictures with me, which I found very surprising because, I mean, why would you take a picture with me? I mean, I'm no one, you know, I'm not a celebrity whatsoever. But sure, I mean, I'll take a picture with you, you know, and maybe with the whole family, you know, since we start. In Bandra, so you have like Shah Rukh Khan, you have his bungalow, so every weekend you see the crowd just there waiting maybe for him to step out. You have all these big actors, houses, bungalows, everyone knows where they live, and there's a kind of routine that maybe they would wave at the window or something, and people travel from states to come to Mumbai for that, you know, because they are huge fans. Bollywood, you know, just make you step out of your real daily life, of your struggle, and make you have dreams. You have those heroes. You have those heroes. You want to identify to the story. You know, you're conflicted. You know, about the love story happening maybe between people or two different castes, two different religions, and you want to see what's happening because maybe you're facing the same situation. Maybe someone in your family. Films are, I think, an important part of how people evolve in their way of thinking, their way of relating to one another or to a particular topic. And of course, they have these Bollywood dances. It's just amazing when you see people dancing, they know all the choreography, all the lyrics. It's wow. Whenever we have parties in school and there's some Bollywood happening, like the crowds just gather, you know, some Bollywood from the 70s, 80s, and everyone would be coming to dance, and we'll just follow the steps all together. We don't have such things in France, for sure.
Did you miss France in the beginning, or you start missing France?
Obviously, you know, there would be things that I miss from France. You know, simple things like going to the park to have a walk, or the clean air, or the silence. Basic things from the daily life. You know, maybe the different genres of movies at the cinema, or the cultural life that you would have in big cities, or even like average-sized cities.
Would you go back to France, do you think, to live?
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
If you want to hear more stories of inspirational, fun and impactful people, watch the next video. I promise you will enjoy it. No, seriously, you will.